because I've been around explosives way bigger than that, but never that close. Yeah, it was surreal. And then like the showering of glass coming down on me, I had no clue. I was like, is the giant chunk of metal gonna hit me? But yeah, it was just the glass. It was like it was snowing out. Apocalyptic glass snow. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. You wanna know what else is fun? Buying a house, making life-changing decisions, fixing up your current home because there's a lot of little stuff that needs fixed before you can move out. If you have not crossed these bridges in life, they're stressful, but extremely fulfilling. For starters on our to-do list, we have this fence, which was installed incorrectly by the previous owner. It's about as straight as a rainbow slinky. So it took me a while, but I dug up every individual hole, reset the fence post, and dumped like 120 pounds of concrete in each hole. Filled them back in, and now the fence is a lot better. Only problem is it needs cleaned. One of my downspouts was letting out right at the corner of my house, and water was actually going back into the foundation and causing water damage. We had that fixed, and all I needed to do was add this stupid little extension. The driveway needs resealed. That's getting done in a couple of days. A little bit of curb appeal, which is super fun to do in the wintertime, like pulling weeds, laying fresh rock, and plenty more. Like this video suggests, I'm buying a house. Buying homes are expensive, so I do ads to pay me money to make money to buy homes, to move on and make more content. Ads are good. They're even better whenever they fit in this conveniently sized pouch. I mean, look how small it is. And it packs a hell of a punch. LazFit Air, thank you to them for hooking me up with this sweet little brick. Little pocket air pump. This thing is vital if you have a truck, car, son, daughter who's going away to college, an off-roader that you air down frequently. I mean, the possibilities are endless. This is such a cheap, simple, sexy necessity. I mean, you need one of these. The number one reason for a vehicle being deadlined is a dead battery, but number two is a flat tire. So get yourself one of these pumps down in the description because it will save your butt. You guys know I go off-roading all the time, and it's so important to air down your tires. Sometimes we do it a little too much, but with this easy to store, quick connect, essential piece of equipment, it's no sweat airing down and airing back up on the trails. The best part is once I own this tool, anytime I want to fill up my tires, it's free. I don't got to worry about paying at the pump or having change. Check them out, LazFit Air, and use my coupon code to get a sweet deal. And this air pump isn't just limited to your vehicle. It takes care of a whole bunch of different options and is customizable to your personal needs. Thank you guys always for the support, and thank you LazFit for sponsoring this video. I feel like I've been talking about this for years now, and the reason why I feel like that is because it has been years. I mean, we've gone through so many steps and processes here to move out of our current home. We figured we would wait. Stuff just hasn't gotten really any better. Maybe there's some glimmer of hope here with interest rates coming down. This is all nonsense to you guys who are not interested in buying a home right now, but I can promise you it's been chaos for the rest of us who have been trying to buy a house. And for those of you who have followed the channel, I want to rent my home out. My current home that I'm living in, I don't want to sell it. I want to rent it out to try and make a little bit more money in the long run. Now, I could just sell it right now and use that money for a down payment, so it goes both ways. Do you want to make money now? Do you want to make money later? So let's just get down to it. Here is the house I put an offer in on. So technically did not buy it yet, but we put a pretty hefty offer in on the house. So barring like an all cash deal, if someone comes in like that, which is pretty unlikely just because it's a townhome. If you guys haven't noticed, I put an offer in on potentially, most likely at this point, my new home, and it is a townhouse. The redeeming qualities right off the bat here is a garage. It's an end unit with a little bit of a private entryway here, so it's nicer than the majority of the townhomes in this little community. And if you guys have already wrote this off as a massive mistake, if it's any consolation, it's in an amazing area. That's property values will do nothing but increase in the future. This is located right outside of Hershey, Pennsylvania, which is a quiet, well-maintained place, and as far as I can tell, has no risk of going downhill because Hershey corporate is right there, and they just wouldn't allow that. It would be horrible for their business, and there's a lot of tourist attractions there, so they're just not gonna allow that. Anyway, let's go inside the house here. Unfortunately, it looks extremely outdated from the pictures just because of the furniture they had, and there's nothing on the walls, because that's just sort of how you stage it whenever you're trying to sell a home. But a decently sized living room, and a nice little entryway. I love whenever they have like the two-story entryway here. This one's a little small, but you can still see that it's like a two-story ceiling in the entryway. For those of you that don't know, my house that I currently live in is a shoebox. It's very small, just over 1,000 square feet, so I finally will get a dining room. I guess you would consider this an open floor plan. I mean, you have the kitchen that blends right into the dining room and into the living room. And to be honest, I think the kitchen looks amazing. I'm not super big on all this white cabinets and white countertops, but for whatever reason in this house, I think it looks great, and we can always make some adjustments down the road. The master bedroom is plenty big. You can see this is a king-size bed in this room, and it has plenty of room to maneuver, do whatever you need to do. And ceiling fans. Not that I couldn't install those myself, but I'm so happy they're already there because ceiling fans are a must for me. I love ceiling fans. I feel like it just makes the house feel more homey. And then just the boring master bathroom here and then the guest bath. But it's really cool upstairs here how you have like this hallway that connects the 3 bedrooms. And like I said, that open foyer here at the end that you can look down into the first floor. The guest bedrooms aren't massive, but I mean, they're only meant for what's in the name, for guests and possibly for kids in the future. and they don't need a massive room. Another huge luxury with this house is I'm picking up a basement. I don't have a basement for my current home, and this one, on top of having a basement, is finished. The only thing that's kind of a waste is the fact that they structured it in a weird way and have this bizarre in-law suite. It's like a quasi in-law suite downstairs. I have no purpose for this. If you guys have any recommendations on how I could utilize this, because as far as I can tell, this is all gonna get torn out. Maybe leave some of the cabinetry for like tools and miscellaneous items, and then just sell the rest of the appliances, because I have no use for an in-law suite or whatever this is meant for. I want the basement to be as open as possible and sort of just be like a second oversized living room. It also has a nice little walkout porch up here, which you can grill and do all this other stuff, and then a cool little patio. With it being an end unit and me having dogs, that helps out tremendously. It just makes it easier to let the dogs out and they can run around and do whatever they want. But the reason I can't have a fence, if you haven't made this conclusion on your own already, there's obviously an HOA. So that boils down to some issues that we might run into in the future. I don't have any loud vehicles, but I do have sort of an obnoxious truck. I mean, I don't really think it's that obnoxious. I think it's pretty modest. It's just a simple off-roader, but I had a Colorado that was even less intense than this one, if you guys remember the highlighter wrap, and that caused the biggest fuss in a non-HOA neighborhood. That's what I currently live in. Now, granted, it was only with one neighbor, but it was a huge stink. And what you guys saw on camera was only a fraction of it, because I can't record everything. So you guys only got pieces of the puzzle. So it was a huge mess behind the scenes. So I'm hoping that isn't that big of a deal in this community. I'm taking a huge risk, but I gain a garage. So I can work on the truck in the wintertime, have my tools, finally get a legit toolbox, and I have to work out of my shed in my laundry room where I just have all my tools stuffed in like a bin. We're picking up an extra bedroom and 2 extra baths with this house, plus the basement. It's updated and it's super affordable. Now, all of this comes at a cost because you are, at the end of the day, living in a townhome. Do I understand that getting a townhome is possibly, I mean, I'd say it's a sidestep for the current size of my home and what I'm giving up. I wouldn't say it's a downgrade for my current home, but after living in my home for so many years, you'd think I'd be able to upgrade. Well, unfortunately, that becomes extremely tough whenever you're trying to hang on to your current residence and buy a second home, especially with interest rates the way they are and homes at record high prices. So I feel like a sidestep here with a few upgrades, like I mentioned, makes this worth it. So we put an offer in. I think it's an extremely healthy offer, and I don't see us losing out on this house. The pros are an extra bedroom, 2 extra bathrooms, a finished basement, a garage. It's a little more updated, and it's definitely bigger. I forgot to mention that this house is over twice the square footage as my current home. Uh-oh, here we go. I'm filming in my uncle's like yard just because it's right by where this townhome is, and I said the neighbors already drove out and like stopped her, like, why are you parked over here in the yard? And now one's walking over, so we may have to have a conversation. He's grilling. Oh, he's looking. No, sorry, sir, I'm trying to get to Hershey Park and I made a wrong turn. It's good to have nosy neighbors to a point. Like if you're on vacation and people are parking in your yard like this to film, I probably want my neighbors to come over and confront them too. But the downside is they're also watching all of your everyday moves, which I guess I have to get used to that if I'm moving into a townhome. So it's not confirmed yet. I'm waiting on the realtor. Should be hearing back here in like a couple of days, he said, because they're fielding offers until the weekend and everything's a little slow and locked up because of New Year's and Christmas. So yeah, I'm pumped. I hope you guys are too. I hope you can understand and sort of see what I'm working with here. This is what we're trying to get to the end goal here. This is not a forever home. This is a stepping stone to success. Got the snowblower out. You know what that means. Well, most likely it means empty promises of a big snowstorm. Apparently 10 inches this weekend. We'll see. I'm gonna wrap this video up, guys. I'm getting sick. This is so stupid. I get sick like once a year, and I guess this is that time of year. Thank you guys so much for the support. Lots to do around here if our offer is accepted, which like I've said, I can't see how this falls through. So this is pretty much a lock. Thank you guys so much for the support. If you want any of my items from 717 Supply, anything on the screen or whatever I'm showing here, it's on clearance because we're not doing a giveaway right now, so you're not getting entered to win anything, but you get the products that you want for a really good deal. This is like as cheap as we can make them. Likes are always appreciated. If you made it this far in the video, say big move down in the comments. Follow me on Instagram, RFRacing717. Thank you again, LazFit, for sponsoring this video. See you guys next time.